Hello. It's morning time right now when I'm recording this. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world and what time you're watching this. So, all right. Candace went on Crime Crazy and Critters on the Farm. She's been going on there and talking to Christine and Daisy and Jinkies and White Boy's been going on there. I know Lips went up there. I didn't know they were like cool like that, but that's cool. I just didn't realize how many people were so supportive of Candace, and it's crazy how there's so many people that are so hateful towards her and just want to attack. I'm not the type of person to be hateful and want to attack anybody. But I do want to know where Summer is and why Candace's timeline is so off. And it would be hard for me to talk to Candace personally because I wouldn't know how to ask the questions that I have without sounding like it's gonna come off like I'm interrogating her, and she's not gonna probably answer my questions honestly, or she's gonna have a guard up just like she would with a lot of people. And I feel like she's gonna tell the public something a little bit different than what she told law enforcement for some reason, and I'm not sure why. People say, well, she doesn't have to tell us anything. Right, of course, she doesn't. But you think she would want to, given the fact that her daughter's missing. You think she would want to be as open as possible with the public to get help in finding her. And I don't know, I have a lot of reasons why I'm suspicious of Candace. And another thing, this just popped into my head that I wanted to talk about is, well, I'm not really going to talk about it right now. I just wanted to bring it up. I do not believe in going real life on people at all. And I think it's pretty shameful that there's people in the true crime community that I used to look up to and adore and think were so intelligent and beautiful and always there for Summer. And I think it's coming out now, and I'm realizing that some people aren't exactly who I thought they were. And maybe there are people that are in this just for money, and maybe there are people that got too tangled up in the drama, and maybe there were lies told and things that were happening to benefit them or to get themselves out of something they got themselves in. That's going too far. That's going real life. Calling children's services on people, that's too far. Why would you want to interfere with that child's life when that child's obviously fine? Especially a child that, yes, their mother might be online 24/7 on YouTube. And that child, some people might think, well, if their mom's online 24/7, they're not getting the care that they need. Well, for one thing, that child is old enough to pretty much take care of herself. She doesn't really need her mom to do anything for her. She's old enough to take care of herself. And this person might make her child seem like she's a lot younger than that. But, I mean, so that's not a reason to call children's services on her. Another woman had children's services called on her, and I could not believe that. I don't even want to mention the creators and everything right now because I don't want to get into the drama because it does take away from Summer. And I just wanted to take a moment to address that, and that I think it's ridiculous when people want to go real life. Excuse me. When people want to go real life on somebody that when it involves a child and it's in the form of like attacking, that's scary. Like, I feel like we should not be doing that on here. There's a reason why people shouldn't talk to suspects, and I didn't realize maybe that's one of the reasons why you shouldn't get close to suspects, because of that type of stuff. So, anyways, Candace was on Crime Crazy and Critters on the Farm.
I'm pretty mad, but I'm not going to come on here and... stop doing that, because if it continues, I'm going to have to do what I have to do to take care of it.
Exactly.
And I'm not being rude about it in no means, no way.
Right. Absolutely. Come up, Shay. I'm going to let Shay up here. Is that okay, Shay?
That's fine.
Okay. But I understand. I totally and thoroughly understand where you're coming from. Listen, there's a time I like Don B too, but he's changed since I've become friends with you guys. And
so Candace is upset because Don B is selling these t-shirts. Look, if Don B wants to use his merch store to make t-shirts with whatever he wants on them, that's his choice, in my opinion. Everybody's given that choice that has a merch store. You can put in it what you want to put in it. And all it says is Summer Wells is missing. And I think the point was that Candace was probably offended by the fact, or somebody told her about this and maybe told her, like influenced her to be offended by this and to want to call Don out on this. I don't think this is probably something that Candace came up with all on her own, because she hasn't cared about, I remember a long time back, Candace said, nobody can share Summer's picture anymore. You remember that? And everybody's like, dude, your daughter's missing. We're going to keep sharing her picture. Like, what's wrong with you? You guys remember that? Because I do. But, yeah, so she doesn't want Don B to have these t-shirts, but I don't understand what it's hurting having some t-shirts that say Summer Wells on them. Don't you want her name out there as much as possible? Like, who cares if he's making a few dollars off of them? So what? Who cares? Why does that have to be a problem? That's my opinion on it. It's not like he's banking on these t-shirts, making all this money on these t-shirts, and they have Summer. There's all different pictures of Summer. And no, it's just some words that say her name. He's probably making next to nothing off of them. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about that. But that's my opinion on that. Don't hate me for it, please. All right. So back to the video. And yes, it's going to be sped up a little bit for the sake of time. And yes, I'm going to skip through it a little bit because they don't actually talk about Summer's case or anything that the TBI has said, or Hawkins County, or anything that they've come out with. There's like no real good information in this. It's really just them shooting the shit.
And I don't understand the attacks. I mean, there's other cases. You don't have to just completely drag these people down. I mean, I don't understand, the concept of him this just beats all I've ever seen in my life. I mean, I've not, they're
I
confused.
mean, honestly, why didn't you just come to me and talk to me about it instead of doing all this
Hi, Auntie. Right.
and being very rude about it all?
Exactly. And continuously making up stories and saying that he's talked to the social services department or the law enforcement. No, law enforcement does not talk to you behind the scenes.
No, I'm trying my hardest to be nice, but I just wish he'd stop. I mean, he is from following me around when I was at my friend's house to.
I want to go to the bathroom.
Okay.
Where's a good place I can stop around there to go to the bathroom?
What are you talking about, Sherry?
Well, where you at?
I'm talking about.
So he's following her around when she's at her friend's house? Like, he's following one of her and her friends around? Is that what she's saying? Because I don't know anything about that. I really don't. I guess I missed something.
About Don B's video.
Oh.
I said, does anybody know where I go use the bathroom really fast?
I mean, you just can't. You can't.
Would you have to go around investigating bathrooms? What's the matter with you?
No, we're talking about Don B's trying to sell these shirts under Summer's name. With Summer's name.
I know that. It would have been. Is it?
They're supposed to, if he would have asked and like maybe the benefits that he got from the money would go out to the missing children of the world and not to himself.
Oh, is this going to himself?
It would be different.
Right.
I wish you'd quit putting that Doberman up there.
Why don't you come up?
I think that Doberman.
Welcome to come up here.
All right. So, like, again, she's saying, if the money would go out to all the children of the world, all the missing children of the world, then she would be okay with it. But I really doubt he's making much off of those t-shirts. I mean, how many people are buying those? And if they are, good, because it says find Summer Wells. People are going to be like, who's Summer Wells? If they don't know. And you can be like, she was 5 years old when she disappeared in June. She was reported missing June 15th of 2021, as it says on the t-shirt. And she's got blonde hair, blue eyes. Her head was shaved at the time of her disappearance, shorter than a pixie cut. And she was reported as only 3 feet tall and 4 years old, though she was likely 3.5 feet tall, if not closer to 4 feet tall, and 40 pounds, and she was 5. And her parents have not been cleared as suspects.
They be sleeping in the bed together right here.
You're respectful because Candace has done nothing to hurt you.
If that dog goes missing, you'll know who got it.
She's just.
Yes, I do.
Says, stop that. Candace is mean to me daily. LOL.
Who's that? I ain't mean to nobody. Lips?
Yeah, there's Lips.
Oh, fuck that bitch. She knows I love her.
Just like said, when I seen the video of Don B stalking you, I ripped him a new one and told him what I would do if I was Candace. Wow, Just Legs. Do you have another channel besides Just Legs, or is your channel named Just? Yeah, it's
from the court is because he was harassing me and my friend and following us everywhere we went.
I don't blame you.
So I guess there's my answer. I don't know. Is that true, Don B? Were you harassing her friend and following them around, and that's why she had to take you to court? I don't know anything about that, to be honest with you. I remember that she took him to court, but I did not. I guess I must have been busy with something else at the time that I was working on, because I don't remember whatever came of that. And apparently it was because he was harassing and following around her and one of her friends, but I don't know who that friend was. Wasn't it Don B that I heard was showing up on Allie's doorstep? I mean, is this just a reporting thing? Is he just trying to get information for Summer's case? Because that's one thing, you know, like you're just trying to get information, but if you're going a little overboard, then that's another thing. But like I said, I don't know, and I'm not judging him because I don't know. I don't know the situation.
And we've seen some of those videos. We've seen where he went to her house and everything.
Exactly.
He was right behind you one day in town somewhere.
Yeah, I know.
I don't
And
know.
now
He
he's
just
making.
said, I believe that's Candace up there in front of me.
He had
Why,
to
it
have been
surely
searching
is.
for her. Hey, don't you, Candace?
Be polite.
Do the right over.
Hey.
Lips, you a little bit half today too.
History of him
Mistake.
out there. At least take the money that he makes off of it and donate.
So I was listening to some Crime Lines and Lies earlier, and she pointed out that when Candace, that when Ernie came on panel, Candace cammed up, and I thought that was pretty funny. If you haven't checked out Crime Lines and Lies, definitely go over there. She has great content.
Donate it to something.
Yeah, there's so many charities that need help.
Yeah. Take
Well,
it to the
it looks
children's home
like
down there in Pigeon Forge. There's so many little kids down there that could use something.
Ernie's married.
All right, listen how crazy and wild these women go over Ernie. I don't get it. I really don't. I don't get why everyone goes so wild over you, Ernie.
Marrying me, stop that.
Ernie, these women just love you. You know it, right?
I know.
I've never had a problem with Ernie in my life.
Hey, now, Lips, you
When he
can't be
was
doing
when he was
that.
at his lowest-
Candace, I'll fight you.
When he was at his
I don't want him, but you can't do that.
I know. I'll get
So,
when he was at his
Damn it.
lowest. I offered him a
not
place
allowed
to
in my
stay.
state.
Looks to me like
I
on that
did.
shirt and everything, on merchandise and stuff like that,
Uh-huh.
it looks like he'd be donating some money or something like that to, organizations for either missing kids or, something with that. He's making our profit off that, ain't he?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How much is that shirt? And
You go for it,
Lord have
Jersey.
mercy.
You go for it.
so
The
you can
majority
imagine
of
if
us, they said, Ernie.
Yeah,
What's
I
that?
forgot about that, Ern.
I'm just not here talking about you, these women.
See what I mean? Women are in the chat like going head over heels for Ernie. I don't get it, Ernie.
and
Oh,
if you-
hey,
Me out up
hey,
in here.
butthead. I sent you a message, but you didn't reply, so.
I know. I sent you a message. You didn't reply to me either, Ernie.
well, I mean, I get so many messages, I got to reply to everybody, and it takes forever to reply, and I just have
Well,
time
don't
to stay
worry.
off of
Don't
it.
worry.
I'll send you
I haven't
a
sent you a message, Ernie.
message telling you what Candace's name is on there, okay?
Candace, you ain't sent me no message in a while.
You can.
Yes, I have, but you won't
I'll tell
recognize the name. It's a total different name.
I'll tell
Well,
you.
how am I going to reply to somebody I don't know?
Well, because Lips will tell you.
Yeah.
Ernie's like,
Because I
maybe-
don't let a lot of people know who I am.
Yeah, it's best not to.
Hey,
But I'm like Ernie. I'd shut down if I get too many messages. I won't even check them because
You got some tea, Ernie. You got some inside information. Candace texting you on the down low under her third number with her alias that nobody knows.
there's so many of them that I just
She
get.
won't even answer my messages.
Well, it gets. Here's the thing: if you get a lot of messages, I know, like I get like tons of messages, and most of my messages are like people. Like, yeah, it's Facebook. Here you go.
That's why I'm not on Facebook.
Here you go. Here you go. Hey, honey, come watch me on cam. Or my link.
Your pants, dude.
Hold on. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Sent you her
Very much.
His name's Chris.
I thought it was for me.
Come on.
Her phone is pretty retarded.
Candace, I just sent you a message
Hey.
on Messenger. I found out who you was.
There you go.
Thanks for having me up here and
Hey,
chat. Thank you guys for being respectful.
Just gets her. Yeah, yeah. He's already.
Show smoke signals.
Just wanted to kind of skip through and show you all, like, that's really all they talked about. Like, that's it. They didn't talk about summer. They never really do. And if you ask Don, he pretty much just says, well, there's lots of missing kids. You know? I don't like that. This is Dawn speaking to Miss Daisy on her panel the next day, right? Yeah.
Oh, just getting ready to go back out of this.
How are you?
I'm getting ready to oh, it's not your fault. I appreciate it though. I don't know why people want to do that and be so hateful and stuff.
I see what it is. They don't have content on, and they're looking for any kind of content.
Oops, sorry, that was echoey probably because I forgot to mute. I don't think people are really trying to be hateful, Don. I think people are just trying to keep Summer's name out there, and they're trying to do what they can to try in their own way to try to help find some kind of answers or to try and help tell a story for Summer because she is a child without a voice. So people feel obligated because they're compassionate and maybe they're damaged in some way and they feel they can repair themselves by helping another child. Something like that, you know. People really do care. Just because it feels like people are against you doesn't mean everybody's against you, obviously, because you go into these chats with hundreds of people in there and you get all this support. And of course you go there, but you don't go somewhere where they're asking the hard questions, the questions that we all really want to know the answers to, but the people that are going to ask the hard questions, you're not going to talk to. And when you do talk to them, it usually turns out pretty nasty.
They can get, and so you and Candace are the first ones that they try to attack, and it's not fair, you know.
I made the mistake of bringing Summer's case to YouTube, and it's not for these so-called, they think they're detectives and all that stuff. I blame myself for that. I thought these guys could help, but they've done anything but help. I mean, they spread her picture out there and stuff like that, and that's good, but they're trying everything to destroy our family, what's left of it.
Right. It's not fair, and it's sad.
I don't think anybody's trying to destroy anything or anybody. The only people that are trying to destroy anybody or anything should definitely not be here on YouTube. And if they are, I guess there's all types and kinds here. There's many types on YouTube. It's a huge place. So you're going to get all different kinds, but I'm not seeing a lot of people I see more compassion on YouTube than I do of anything else, but maybe I don't know, maybe that's just the directions that I'm looking. Maybe Don's looking in other directions than I am. Sure he is. Sure we all do.
It is sad. I mean, I don't know.
Well, it's like this. It's like money is the root of all evil, and I feel like a lot of it is money pushed. But I have to say, Don, you didn't make a mistake. You have brought attention, you and Candace, to your baby's case, and she's worldwide loved, and she's brought attention to other children as well that is missing through her face and stuff. And you can't give up hope that she'll be found, because you never know, the person that may have her still be out there with her.
Well, and something that's
Right. And you've got a good point, Daisy. You do. You have a good point there. It's just that what I worry about is what if Don did something to Summer and you're sitting here promoting him like he's father of the year? What if he did something to her? We haven't found her yet. They believe that she's close by. What does that tell you that they think? The questions that Jose says that they were asking, like things like, did they do bodily harm to her? Why would he lie about that, about the questions they asked, knowing that the whole world could hear his answers and what he said? It's concerning to me. Don's always been one of my top suspects, but I'm not going to attack him. I always ask people in my chat not to attack. Don't attack. You can say your opinion and say what you think. You can speculate. We're not going to wildly speculate, but of course we're going to speculate a little bit. I mean, shoot, what are we here for? You know, you have to speculate a little bit. It's part of the process, but you don't have to be hateful about it. And doesn't mean you have to agree with anything Daisy says or anything that anybody on her panel says. Doesn't mean you have to disagree with them. I don't care. You can love Daisy, you can hate Daisy, you can do what you do. But I have my own opinions and I'll keep them to myself. The only thing that I want to say is I wouldn't be so quick to try to make Don look like father of the year, because there is a lot of speculation going on around Don. There's a lot of things being said about Don. And there's things that Don has proven himself, like to be violent in the home. I hate to say it, but it's true. And I'm sorry, but you can't protect that when you don't know for sure how far it really goes.
When this been brought to my attention by our private investigators, who I give a lot of thanks to because they are professionals. I hope, can you still hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can hear you.
Yeah.
Oh, they are professionals, and they brought it to my attention that the perpetrator is probably watching all this unfold, and all these people, you know, are trying to be detectives and everything like that. Well, he knows, or she, or
The way Don says the perpetrator makes me not believe what he's saying. And I feel like I don't need to really explain myself on that one. It's just the fact that he just pulls the word perpetrator out. Like, he's not like, yeah, the person that came and took Summer or the abductor. He says the perpetrator. It just seems scripted and kind of fake.
whoever knows what move to make, what to do, and what not to do. They know right what we're all thinking. They don't know what the real police are thinking, though, and neither do any of us. But it's not our job to be on YouTube with all these things. It's not these other creators' jobs to blast everything and every bit of information out there and potentially ruin any hopes of ever getting someone back. I tried telling some of these people that, but they just don't listen.
You never know, the person that may have her still be out there with her.
Well,
Uh,
and something that's been brought to my attention by our private investigators, who I give a lot of thanks to because they are professionals. I hope, can you still hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can hear you.
Yeah.
They are professionals, and they brought it to my attention that the perpetrator is probably watching all this unfold, and all these people, are trying to be detectives and everything like that. Well, he knows, or she, or whoever knows what move to make, what to do, and what not to do. They know right what we're all thinking. They don't know what the real police are thinking, though, and neither do any of us. But it's not our.
Sorry, you guys. I got a phone call and it was important, so I wasn't expecting it right now. It's actually my grandma, so I had to take it. I tried to make it as quick as possible. Sorry about that. So yeah, Don's saying the perpetrator is going to be watching all of this, and they're going to know what move to make next because they're watching this, and people have brought this to its attention. So if you're private investigators and Ellie is bringing it to your attention that the perp is out there watching this right now, then that means they're onto something, right? So is that true, Don? Are they onto something? Do they have a suspect? Do they have somebody in mind? Do they think she was abducted? Because the last time I checked, they didn't think she was abducted. They had no evidence of that. Everything was still on the table, but there was no evidence of an abduction, and they almost seem in the way they say it like they don't think that's what it is.
Our job to be on YouTube, with all these things. It's not these other creators' jobs to blast everything and every bit of information out there and potentially ruin any hopes of ever getting someone back. I tried telling some of these people that, but they just don't listen.
Right, like calling potential suspects. That's a no.
Yeah, and I've been dumb.
Don, you're a suspect. I just wanted to throw that in there because, he is a suspect, and so is Candace.
Dumb. I'm just as much to blame as anybody, but I just don't know what to do. But the police are the professionals. We got good private investigators. They're working hard on this all the time, and you don't see them on YouTube. Trying to work all this stuff on YouTube with other people and putting it all over for the whole world to see.
Yeah, because they're PIs. PIs don't go on YouTube and put all their information out there. That's public. They're not public investigators, they're private investigators, hence the word private. You can't use that as an example.
Especially the perpetrator.
Right. And Don, it's not just happened in Summer's case. It happened in Monkey Vaughn's case. It's happened in a lot of little kids missing cases.
Yeah.
And it's not fair to tear what little bit of, I don't even know. I can see that you're worn down, and Candace is worn down and heartbroken.
We are.
And
when these guys go on there and they, it's our fault for drinking. It's our fault for being stupid. We should have known better. But we, and I take the blame for that. That's fine. But for these guys to just keep continually running us in the ground over and over, our kids see that, and I guess they get it.
So people are continually running them into the ground over and over, but are they? Or is Don and Candace doing that to themselves? Because I highly doubt that the reason that their kids got taken and the reason for any pain and suffering because of that their kids are going through is because of YouTube. I doubt that. If any of it is because of YouTube, it's because of stuff that Don has done himself on YouTube. That's my opinion. Yeah.
Get enjoyment out of that. It hurts us deeply. Yeah, they're trying to hurt us, and they're doing a good job.
Nobody knows what someone would do be put in that place. I don't even think I could even survive going through such a thing. You and Candace has been through the worst pain that anyone else could even imagine because the what ifs, the not knowing. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think I honestly could have survived it or anything. And there was a time where I was wondering, you know, and I think Candace has been through it too, that we just didn't know what, you know, we've just been through a lot. But I think with the hope of God, you know, going to church, that's
I feel like he didn't really know exactly what to say there, so he just started talking about church because that is something that makes him look good. And when he isn't sure what to say, he can start talking about church because he always knows that's a safe place to talk to go.
that's the only hope we have is the future. Whether
Right.
in this life, I don't know about this life, but
I know. Well, you don't give up on that because
right, we don't give up on God because we don't know what God has in store.
exactly.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, of course.
Accidentally blocked one of my mods. Sorry. Go
So
ahead, Chris.
as far as you know, law enforcement is still investigating Summer's case, and it is not a cold case. Am I?
So Don says yes, it's not a cold case. Summer's case is Summer's case is still active and ongoing. It's not a cold case. Dawn agrees with that, and she's like, okay, well, that should be good enough for YouTubers then, right?
Right by saying that?
Took our precious daughter, and I can understand their anger, but them projecting that anger on us when it's
Now Don's going to say that he thinks that people are angry because Summer is such a beautiful, precious little girl and she's missing and something has happened to her and she's believed to be in imminent danger of bodily harm or death. And people are angry and upset about that. It's been almost darn near 2 years now. So yeah, people are going to continue to be angry and upset. And maybe sometimes once in a while, people snap and take their anger out on you because maybe they're suspicious of you. And sometimes they have things that go through their head that make them snap. That might happen. He might be right about that a little bit. But I don't think it's as bad as he makes it sound. I think he's just trying to play victim. And he should be talking more about his daughter and saying a message to his children about why he's sorry and what he's going to try to do in the future to better himself, maybe. Put a good message out there for your kids. If you're trying to make yourself look good because you're coming up here all sober and trying to look good, right? Because you were supposedly supposed to be on a media blackout per Tim Mullen. So did somebody lure you up here? Did somebody try to get you to do this to make you look good, Don? Or are you doing this on your own? I'm just curious. It's seriously just a question.
it's not our fault that someone come up here and abducted our daughter. That's not our fault.
Well,
Yeah, we should have had cameras. We should have had this. We should have.
No.
No, we live way out in the country. We didn't think we needed cameras. We never seen anything. We didn't see this coming. You can't see something like this coming.
No. And I'll tell you one thing. When Athena's strand went missing, I will tell you that was the first thing they were getting ready to attack the parents, YouTubers. So
Does anybody else think Don looks extremely nervous during this? Because I noticed that, like, his body language just reads nervous to me.
she went missing, attacked, and then accidentally hit her, but then crashed and torn apart, just like you and Candace. It was getting ready to happen. Thank goodness law enforcement acted quickly enough to, find out where Athena was and what happened to her and who did it. But if they would not have caught this person, they would have been in the same boat as you and Candace. And I can
Yeah.
promise you that.
Yeah, law enforcement acted fast here too, and because there wasn't a whole lot going on at the time in our country, I'd say almost half.
And yeah, just another thing, by the way, you don't ever go real life. Like with the Athena Strand thing, but just like off topic, I guess, but Christine was talking about it. People were trying to start going real life on the family, I guess, and that's not cool. That's not cool that people are doing it in any case. You should never go real life on somebody, and you should never, definitely never go real life on somebody, especially when you don't even know because law enforcement hasn't came out and actually said yet. Excuse me, my allergies are terrible today. So if law enforcement comes out and names somebody a suspect, that doesn't mean, oh, everybody attack that person because that's going to find answers. No, that's not going to find answers. You have to be able to control yourself and handle yourself and be able to talk to people in a way that you get answers. That takes a skill, a certain skill set. Some people have it, some people don't. I guess I wouldn't really know if I had it or not, but I have really bad social anxiety, so I probably don't have that skill set. And it would be really hard for me to know how to articulate the right words to know how to talk to somebody about the questions that I have without sounding rude, I guess. Like without, like why would you not get floors in your house and put some rugs down for your kids if you really cared as much as you say you do? If you gave Summer candy every day, then how come you can't name a candy besides Tic Tacs that she loved so much? Because you say you had to shower her every night because she was always sticky and you didn't like her to be sticky in bed. So what kind of candy? Questions like that would probably come off as rude and it just wouldn't go over well. That's why I probably wouldn't be good at it.
The United States police force descended on this property at the time.
Yeah, and you can tell that by the pictures. You can, if you're really listening to the news, that they had lots of people in the woods. They had
And that they flew at night every night for a long time. They had a lot of specialized equipment on it too.
exactly.
They
So
went through everything. Somebody put that baby in a car and took off down the road with her.
He's saying there was like the FLIR and the like the heat seeking and radar or whatever it's called, and the helicopters, and they were flying around the drones, and they had everything going for Summer, and they really had a massive search. They really had a lot of people out there for Summer. I think a lot of people were really shocked when they did not find her. I thought for sure she was going to be within that vicinity somewhere and they were going to find her. And as the days kept going by and they didn't find her and they didn't find her, I'm like, wow. But yet they think she's close by. So why aren't they still out there searching a bigger and bigger radius every day?
Absolutely.
Or they would have found that baby that night.
Yeah.
exactly.
And I believe that somebody Summer might have known, Don. I really do. She would have
Well,
about had no one.
It's somebody that has to be familiar with this area, that's for sure. But
Right.
I don't want to do a whole lot of speculating and trying to do the police's job because I've already
Right.
damaged and a lot of people have damaged the case probably by trying to be detectives and stuff. So I don't want to get off, in that area trying to do their job for them or anything like that. We need to try to step back and have respect for the police.
Yeah.
I agree 100%. And, one thing I do want to talk about is, how you said that you thought she went down that dog trail? She would have had to walk down that dog trail for them to get that scent. So I
But
think,
I don't.
So they're basically talking about how they think Summer walked down the dog trail and went down to the road where the pavement changed, or, it changed to pavement and from the ground. And then maybe the dog lost the scent because of that. And then, they're saying she had to have been put into a car because that way, that's why her scent was gone. But I think if she was put into a car, the dog still could have picked up her scent for a while. And the dog stopped there, probably because the ground changed. That's what I always thought. But I mean, shoot, I could be wrong.
I don't know. From what I understand, if someone's being carried, they can just drop a hair, or just a little piece of sweat or anything, and that dog can pick it up. Like that, their
oh,
dogs are
wow.
very highly sensitive.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Well,
I
I
didn't-
know last night I listened to your call in from, I'm not going to name the creator, but I felt like you was very good in that conversation. And you didn't sound bad at all. You sounded like a father who's grieving his children. And I don't understand the concept of anyone that would want to attack you or Candace. I mean, I just don't understand it.
I don't need.
If he really is a father that's grieving his children, he shouldn't need that reassurance. You know what I mean? It should just be obvious. You shouldn't even have to say that to him. You'd think saying something like that would actually be offensive to somebody that was grieving their children, because it's like, yeah, duh, obviously, but it's not obvious with them. To me, it's not.
Neither. The only thing that, like I said, I can understand the anger, because such a beautiful little girl has been taken, and then they might be projecting the anger on us, and I can kind of see that, I guess, and plus we've been complete idiots, drinking a lot. We never used to drink like that. We've always been kind of the weed smokers. We'd smoke a little weed and just watch TV and whatever and have pretty much a normal life. But
So I guess none of us can really say for sure, right? Like, well, maybe some of you, I guess if there's somebody in here that knew the Wells before Summer went missing, but I always assumed that they just had a drinking problem and a drug problem before Summer went missing, especially based on what I heard about their drug test results and what we see on TikTok of Candace. It just seems like there was some substance abuse issues going on leading up to Summer's disappearance. So I don't believe that all they used to do was just smoke a little bit of pot and drink a little bit here and there. I think it was way much more than that. And I think it's obvious by the shape that their house was in that they were clearly caring more about something else in life. And I don't think it was healthy hobbies. I think they had very unhealthy hobbies. And I think those things kept them from caring about the things in their life that they should have prioritized higher on their list, like their house for their children's sake. That's obviously just my opinion.
we were not allowed to smoke anymore, and so the alcohol, not only that, with a lot of bad things going on, alcohol kind of consumes you, and there's a lot of hurt feelings. You can't just have a few drinks anymore. You're going to drink the whole damn bottle, kind of thing. So we've had to work hard to just completely leave alcohol alone and everything else, and that's where we're at today.
And if they are at that point today where they're just trying to completely leave alcohol alone, then kudos to them, because that is hard to do. I can't say that I've always been sober. I've got 5 years clean, and I'm very proud of that. And anybody that can get clean time under their belt, good job. I don't care who you are, good job. Keep it up. That's what we need to see. That's great. Keep continuing to not drink, because that's obviously a huge problem for you, Dawn. It's about time.
Yeah. Well, nobody knows what they would do if they were put in any kind of situation that you and Candace has been put in and been put through. I mean, this case has went nationwide, and you had so many people that you thought were your friends and you trusted that turned on you all. And
I can promise anybody out there, if you have a special girl like Summer and you've had her and raised her up from a baby, and she's so sweet, you just love her to death, and then you suddenly lose her, I'll promise you, you're gonna turn to alcohol. You don't know what you're gonna do. You're gonna lose your mind. I promise you.
You have a beautiful little girl like Summer. You're going to just lose your mind if you lose her. Yeah, probably. I would. Definitely. Absolutely would agree with that 100%. I'm sure anybody would. And unless they had something to do with it or have guilty knowledge of it, then of course they would probably act pretty weird and have some kind of script and probably say things like, I've got 7 alibis. Candace, you ain't got none. You're going down. Like, and play jokes and games the whole time. I guess I'm getting a little off subject, but that's just my opinion.
So, and is it because, Dawn, that you feel helpless? There's nothing that you can do. There's nowhere you can look. Is that kind of how you feel, is helpless?
Well, I've tried. I miss my little girl. I mean, she was my everything, and I know, she's out there, especially at first, wondering if I was going to come and save her. And Daddy, are you going to forgive me? Are you going to save me from this person or from whatever's going on, and there's not a thing you can do, and that just weighs so heavy on your mind that you just can't quite take it. You can't hardly deal with it. And so
So he's wondering the whole time, like when she very first went missing, am I going to be able to save her, get her, or whatever, like get her back from whoever got her, or save her from whatever happened to her? And you can't, and it just eats at you. Yeah, these are the things that you should have been saying a long time ago, like instead of partying pretty much up there, continuing to party, in my opinion, up there. For a while after Summer went missing, you guys were on YouTube making a spectacle of yourselves and then blaming YouTubers for being hateful towards you and attacking you when you brought it all on yourself and you know what kind of world this is. Don't act like you didn't know what Facebook and YouTube was before Summer went missing, because I don't believe that.
it's a weight that no father wants to bear, because you want to be there for your kids. You want to be right by them in any way possible. And you're absolutely powerless to do anything for your little girl, And I feel that same way if it would have been one of the boys or even somebody else's kid. I'd feel just as bad.
Yeah.
Well, it's like this. If Summer was here right now, she would be mad at those people for attacking her parents. I know Summer would be furious with you all were her whole world, and
You don't know that, Daisy. You don't know what Summer would say or how she would feel. You don't know what her life was like and what her relationship with her father was like. You have no idea. You can only guess. And you could be being lied to. You could be being deceived. It does seem a little fake and forced, in my opinion, which would lead me to believe I was being lied to, but that's just me. I don't really trust people as much as you seem to, Daisy. I'm not hating on you. I'm just saying, that's just my opinion. But yeah, it's great that people can work together and try and get answers and be on all sides of the field. But the thing is, it just sucks that Don's being made out to look like Father of the Year here when he could have done something to Summer. And I'm not saying he did, and I'm not saying I want everybody to speculate that he did, but what if he did? And you're up there coddling him. I mean, gosh, that's scary to think about, All right. Before I end this, which unfortunately I have to end it really soon because my son's going to be waking up and I've got a house to clean still before I go work and clean other people's houses. So, all right. And we can finish this later. We'll keep talking about it. It's fine. But before I go, I wanted to share this. Sorry. This was published yesterday at 4:05 p.m. on Fox News. Scotty Morris disappearance. Indiana police plead for video around when 14-year-old went missing a week ago. Scotty Dean Morris, 14, went missing in Eaton, Indiana, March 16th. The Eaton Police Department on Thursday renewed their plea for residents to check surveillance video around the time 14-year-old Scotty Dean Morris went missing a week ago. We are asking Eaton residents that have cameras posted in their houses to please check your footage from 8:15 p.m. to 11 p.m. on March 16th, 2023. The Eaton, Indiana Department wrote on Facebook. If you find anything of interest, please contact the police department at 765-396-3297.
Ohio State residents, if you have a utility meter like this on the side of your house, you can get paid to go solar for no money out of pocket. It costs nothing to install the panels, and you can immediately get a credit on your bill when your meter runs backwards. And then you get paid for the excess power.
It wouldn't pause. It would not let me pause it. That was so annoying. Anyways, They're asking residents to check their footage from 8:15 p.m. to 11 p.m. on March 16th, 2023, and call the Eaton Police Department if you see anything of interest. And then they ask again for residents that didn't see it before. WRTV reported that members of the community were putting green ribbons in Morris's honor on street lamps and electric poles around Eaton. It's just kind of sad, and I want him to be found safe. Olivia Hurst, a teen girl who stopped by to help tie ribbons, told the outlet, "Scotty, come home. Your parents miss you. They want you home safe." We've had some tragedies, but nothing like a missing child, Megan Deckham added while tying ribbons for the missing teen. To think about what that family is going through. A piece of you is missing when everything is not under your roof. Yeah, that's true. He should never have been made to wear that shirt to school. Poor kid. He's only 14. Wow. I hear that he was a really good kid, another woman reportedly said. How about he is a really good kid? Grace and Mercy Church, located at 301 East Harris in Eaton, is also holding a candlelight vigil for Morris on yesterday night. They encouraged all of the community and first responders to come and pray for Scotty's safe return, police said. Morris, described as 5'4", weighing 150 pounds, brown hair and blue eyes, was last seen 8:30 p.m. March 16th, leaving his home in Eaton. So I wonder if they think he hung around somewhere around there for a couple hours before going on somewhere else, and they want everybody to check their cameras. Wow, I really hope somebody sees something. Be really great to get another update on him. He is believed to be in extreme danger and may require medical assistance. His parents made him wear the shirt with demanding words, including the message, "I'm a liar," as a punishment before he went missing, but he noted that the family is now heartbroken over his disappearance. Some outlets said the handwritten messages on the shirt also read, "I hurt my little brother." Sad. All right. I didn't realize I was already at an hour, so I guess I'm going to have to end this now. And I really appreciate you guys being here. Keep checking on updates for Scotty Eaton and TBI Newsroom for updates on Summer Wells. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon.